Hello everyone, I welcome to you in the Digital Fashion Design Zone classes, and this is Mr. Ubaid, and today I came to you with very important topics, that is the how to set up the CAD section into the fashion institution or in industries, and what are the essential equipments required to set up the CAD section into the fashion institution or industries. So before going into the explanation of the establishment of the CAD section in fashion institution or industries, let me explain you about the CAD. What is CAD? CAD is basically computer aided design. It is also called as computer aided design and drafting. It is the use of computer technology for the process of design the products and to create the design documentations. CAD software provides the input tools for the purpose of design, drafting, documentation and manufacturing process. Basically, there are two types of CAD design. As in the previous session I have explained you, that is the 2D CAD design, in which we could be able to create design curves and shapes in two-dimensional space, that is length and breadth. 3D CAD design, in which you could be able to create the design, curves, surfaces and solids in 3D objects, that is called as avatar. CAD allows designer to view design of clothing, footwear and accessories on virtual models and in various colors and shapes. Now let us explain the importance of CAD. So anything that's constructed or manufactured has to first be designed, and then detailed drawings are necessary to communicate the design to the manufacturers. About 40 years ago, this could only be done by pencil on the paper, which was very difficult and imperfect communication between the designer and the manufacturers. But the CAD is better, faster, accurate and even more comfortable than the manual design. It improves the quality of design, it improves the communication in design, it creates database for manufacturing, it improves the efficiency of the design. It takes less space and tools are all digital and infinitesimally accurate. You can view your design in 3D in an original form to your future product. You can view your design in 3D using many display options such as overview, hidden line, removed views, shaded views, assembly drawings, 3D rendering and even by realistic rendering. Finally, we can say that it's the tool with the universal applications. A picture can be a worth of 1,000 words or even more. CAD drafting is a shortcut to communication, allowing you to rely upon less on words and more on drawing and spatial relationships. Now, what are the essential equipments required for the establishment of the CAD section? So if you want set up the CAD section in fashion industry or institutions, you have to arrange the following equipments or areas which are mentioned below. You need the area rooms for CAD section. It can be decided flexibly according to the batch of students for institution and as per the production required in an industry. Next, very important and essential things is that is the computer. So the computer for the CAD section should not be as like a normal computer. Depending upon the types of CAD software and the type of work, you have to specify the hardwares and the softwares to get the best performance from your investment. Therefore, the best performing hardware and software specification for CAD design computers are as follows. So if you want to go to the purchasing for the computers, especially for the CAD section, so you must have to consider the following considerations or specifications which we are going to discuss now. So very first and important things is the processor. If we want to know about CPUs, there are two main specifications that defines the capability of a CPU. So the first is frequency and second is the number of cores. The frequency, it directly affects that the how many operations a single CPU core can complete in a second. It means how fast it is. And the number of cores, which means how many physical cores there are within a CPU or how many operations it can run simultaneously. The majority of softwares is only single threaded, so it is only able to utilize a single core of the CPU. For this reason, our general recommendation when choosing a processor is to get the highest frequency for current generation CPUs, that is Intel Cores i9 10900K. Its frequency should be 3.6 GHz, or i7 10700K, its frequency should be 5.10 GHz. And second very essential specification or considerations while going to purchase the CAD personal computers is the video card, that is also called GPU, graphic processing units. So the video card plays a very essential role in displaying the 2D and 3D models onto the screen. So you have to the selection of the video card should be very accurate and perfect. So either way, we recommended using a workstation NVIDIA Quadro card P1000 and capacity 4 GB. And the next very important selection or specification is the memory or RAM. While the exact amount of RAM you need is going to depend on the size and complexity of the model you will be working with. We generally recommend you 16 GB RAM for all our systems. And next, finally, very important and essential specification is the storage or hard drive. We almost always recommend using SSD hard drive for the primary drive that hosts your operating system and CAD itself and any active project you are working on. In other words, the maximum specification of PCs are as follows. Operating system should be 64-bit processor, 3+ gigahertz, memory or RAM 16 GB is recommended. Disk space should be 7 GB. Display resolution should be 1920 by 1080 resolution with the true colors. If your PC is having a specification below the range as mentioned below, then your system or computer will not be able to support the CAD software. That is, minimum specification is compulsorily required are as follows. Operating system 32-bit processor 2 GB, memory 2 GB, and graphic card 2 GB, and disk space should be 4 GB. Now let us discuss about the essential softwares, most recommended and popular fashion design softwares which will be required are as follows. Which will be required are as follows. 2D and 3D fashion design softwares are as follows. If you are going to purchase these softwares for the garments design, so these are as follows. Gerber EcoMark, it is the most recommended software for fashion industry. And secondly, there are many other softwares also for the garment design is like a CAD, Electra and Optitex. If you are going to purchase the software for the footwear design, so the recommendations are as follows. Procam software, Shoemaster software, Crispin or Shoemaker. These are the essential, mostly recommended for the footwear industries. For digital fashion illustration, if you are going to do the illustration work or create artwork and textile, the most recommended softwares are as follows. CorelDRAW, Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop.
Sketches are generally not
So these are the essential softwares specifically required in fashion institution or industries. Next very essential things is required in the CAD section, that is the Digitizer. It is used to convert hard copies of patterns to the digital forms. After the conversion, you can be able to proceed for the further operations as like modification, grading and the marker making by importing it into the design softwares. There are two types of Digitizer available into the market. Number one is the manual Digitizer. It consists of a digitizing table, basic menu and a 16-button cursor to capture the parameter of your patterns. And second one is the automated high-speed Digitizer. It consists of pattern, board and high-quality digital camera. We will recommend you Gerber technology. It is the most popular in the fashion world. Basically, and secondly is very other things is the plotting cutter, which is required in the CAD section. Basically, there are two types of CNC cutting plotters are used in the fashion manufacturing industries. Number one is the paper pattern cutting plotter, and second one is the fabric spreader and cutting plotter. Paper pattern cutting plotter. Two types of cutting plotters are most popular for their ability to allow you to create different design. Drum cutting plotter is number one. It is a specialized output device whose name indicates its function. This device works by moving a pen or cutting blade on a single axis track, while the paper moves on a cylindrical drum. The second one is the flatbed cutting plotter. It works by fixing paper on a flat surface, while pen or cutting blades moves to draw or cut the images or patterns. Any one of them you can choose for your CAD section. And fabric spreader and cutter. If you want to directly cut the fabric after design, then the CNC automated fabric spread cutter machine is required for your section. Finally, one printer is also recommended, is required. It's required to print out the technical documents, whatever you are creating, as like a tech pack or the specification sheet, so you can print out with the help of this printer. And laser jet printer is the most recommended printer for this. So these are the essential equipments or tools required to establish a fashion CAD section. I hope that this class will be very much helpful for you. Thank you for this session.